mythics come. Under the dragon's shadow, gamers pray. Listen well, the legends will me say. D for bad, D for dog shit. Stopped playing months ago, but I still smell it. Bad, D for dog shit. What about it didn't suck? Can't stop thinking I got fucked.
Okay guys, hello and welcome back for probably the last real PvP video for this season. Now at the end of the video you can find my thoughts about the current PvP season and why this might be the last one. So if you are interested specifically in that, just go feel free and jump straight to that part. But now it's time to discuss the most broken build in this season, and of course that's the evade build. I was just testing something, so let me just change this. So this is the most immortal, like the almost completely, okay, not almost, it's like 99% immortal. There is only one small possibility that you can die with this build, and I'll explain what that is. Well, of course other people with this build can kill you, and the SOAR build can kill you in very small probability in very specific situations. That's why, you know, I'm saying 99%. I'll explain you why that is, but it's extremely difficult to kill you with SOAR build. So before I start, again, the usual disclaimers that I want to give you. I don't recommend you playing this build. In fact, I encourage you not to play this build. This build is dog shit. It's absolute garbage. And if you want to be serious about PvP, if you want to actually develop skills and be good at the PvP in the game, don't play this. I mean, just don't waste your time playing this, because you can invest this time playing something that's actually, you know, will develop skills. This is not gonna do it. But if you just want to, you know, fool around, fool with friends, throw some people in PvP, just have some small fun, then that's fine. But don't think that this is because you're good or because you have extremely good skills. There's zero skill here. Okay, this is the most shitty build in the season. It's not zero skill. It's minus 100 or minus 9,000 if you ask me. You know, you have to play less shitty and less shitty builds just to, after playing this, just to come to the base zero value. You know, that's how brain dead this build is. So without any further ado, let's jump straight to the build. And if someone from Blizzard ever watches this video, you have to fix this. This build has to go away from the game. I'm telling you, just remove it. This shouldn't exist in the game. Just remove this build completely. So with that being said, for the gear, again, you need Shaco, and it's reliant on cooldown reduction. Now, you can play this with Sepazontek, but it's much better not to use Sepazontek, because if you use this weapon, you get better survivability and way more damage than Sepazontek. Sepazontek gives you nothing, or Sepazontek, I don't know, I'm butchering that name. But anyway, you get the point. It's much better to use legendary stuff than Sepazontek. Although, if you don't have Shaco and cooldown reduction, you know, things like that, just use Sepzontic. Now, for this version, you need Shaco with, and you need to hit the cooldown reduction at least 2 times, as here. If you have it as GA, then 1 time might be enough. You don't need crit chance, so just take one with dexterity, total armor, and cooldown reduction. Just raw cooldown reduction. Just, you know, go to the oculist and try to get the cooldown reduction. Normal affix is fine. It's not like it's not necessary to have it as a GA, especially if you hit, like if you have, you should temper this evade cooldown reduction. If you have it as the max value and hit it 2 or 3 times, then you probably won't even need like the cooldown reduction. I don't have the cooldown reduction, still works, but you know, I'm recommending you to take the cooldown reduction here because you might not be able to hit everything 2 times or 3 times or get the best rolls, so better be on the safe side. That's my point. Then you need again a Ring of the Midnight Sun for the cooldown reduction, and again here it's GA and I hit it once and it again barely works, and I'll show you why it barely works. Then on the boots you want also evade cooldown reduction, and you want to hit this this specific one like 1 or 2 times, and maybe you can get away with not having this as GA, for example, things like that, right? So the point is that you need like if you have boots with that gives you more evade charges, then it would be easier. But if you don't, then you have like 4 evade charges, because then we take this, we max acceleration, and now see what happens. When I evade, they will become 3, right? You can use the, I'm using the Guriwa house here, but the thing is that you need the Thunder Spike equipped, and you need for in order for this to work, you need the Thunder Spike, then Enhanced Thunder Spike and Accelerated Thunder Spike. Don't take this. If you take this, it's not gonna work. What you do is you just evade 1, 2, 3, and I'm back at 4 charges. See? 1, 2, 3, and I'm back at 4 charges. So that's why I'm telling you that this cooldown is just enough to have 4 charges and be constantly replenish them. So depending on your master work and what you hit and the tempering affixes, you might need less or more cooldown reduction. That's my point. So for the ring, you need dexterity as GA, max wife, and then damage, or ideally crit strike damage here, not crit strike chance. You know, my gear is not even optimal because I don't want to spend much time master working when I'm basically quitting the game already. I mean, this is the last time that I'm actually playing the game. I have plans to make 2 more videos, but they won't be PvP. One of them won't be PvP related, the other won't be like showing builds, but it will be PvP related. But I'm not gonna play the game anymore this season. So that's the reason why I don't have the perfect gear here. What you want again is dexterity, GA, max wife, and then crit strike damage. Then you temper crit strike damage, and for fuck's sake you can even temper counter attack charges. This should also be removed from the game. Like this makes you immortal, man, and it just they tell you, oh, you can be permanently even more like I don't get it. I just don't fucking get it. But yeah, if it's in the game, just temper this and fuck it, right? Then on the weapon, you want dexterity GA, and you want to hit this as many times as possible. Ideally, you know, just for the off chance that you might get hurt somehow, you know, magically. But if you don't care about the dexterity, which is you know, quite reasonable not to care about the dexterity with this build, the next ideal thing to hit is crit strike damage. This will increase your damage like crazy, like significantly crazy, you know. And ideally you want dexterity max 5 crit strike damage, then temper crit strike damage, and then take primary Gurio Spirit Hoe potency. I'll explain you why that we are not playing Kigawaro here. Then on the boots you want dexterity, movement speed, dodge chance, greater affix. Ideally, or if you cannot roll dodge chance greater affix, take the dexterity greater affix. Then you temper bar regeneration and evade cooldown reduction. You want to hit in the masterwork, you want to hit the evade cooldown reduction as many times possible. Then for the boots, dexterity max 5 dodge chance, you temper dodge chance and temper barrier regeneration, not crowd control effect. The greater affix here ideally should be either dexterity or dodge chance. Then for the gloves, you need dexterity, maximum life, and lucky hit chance. Not crit strike chance, don't just ignore this. Then you temper barrier regeneration and either damage or crit strike damage. Crit strike damage would scale your damage way more than damage in this case. I'll explain you why. Then for the armor you want Tyrio's Might because this shows your resistances and gives you damage reduction, which is completely useless for this build because you're immortal. And then again Shaco, right? So that's it. For the aspects, on the gloves you want redirected force. Here on the pants you want assimilation. On the boots you want reactive armor. Then here on the weapon you want a cursed touch. You need this on the weapon, okay? If you don't have it on the weapon, your chances of killing other people become way less.
It's what I do.
Okay, they will be, you have way lower chances of killing people if you temper it anywhere else on your gear than on the weapon. And ideally you want this the max value possible on ancestral gear, like completely the max value, and you put it on the weapon. I'll explain you why. Then on the amulet you want the crowded sage aspect, and here you want the pay watcher, no, the conceited aspect. So that's for the gear. Now let's go through the skill tree. For the skill you want Thunder Spike, then Enhanced Thunder Spike and Accelerated Thunder Spike. Then we go down, we take 1 point in follow through. It's irrelevant. I mean, you're not doing damage with basic skills. You're almost not using basic skill. I mean, you're not gonna hit them with the basic skill. Well, most of the time, you know. Then you want 3 points in focal point because you're using quarterstaff. Then 3 points in apex, 3 points in diminishment, 5 points in mirage. This is very important. No matter what, you want 5 points in mirage. So if you decide not to use this ring here, you have 3 points in mirage. And depending on how much dodge you have in the beginning, right? If you don't have any dodge at all, or you have very low dodge, you might not be immortal. This in combination with the counter attack is what makes you completely immortal. Okay, 99% immortal. So you either have to watch how much dodge chance you have before deciding to use Midnight Sun or not, or if you don't want to use any dodge chance, you need 5 points here at least. Then 3 points in unrestrained power, 3 points in swift. Then you max out toxic skin, enhanced toxic skin and measured toxic skin. Here we take just 1 point in soar, enhanced soar and measured soar. We are not doing the damage with soar though. We are not playing the soar. Then 1 point in patient guard, just for the you gain 10% additive block chance. But the rest is irrelevant. Then 1 point in anti-venom and 3 points in nourishment. This is when you decide to use Scorch, if you need to, right? Then You take Scorch, like 3 points in Scorch, Enhanced Scorch, and Adaptable Scorch. Then 3 points in Ravenous, 3 points in Oppressive. Here you max out the Brilliance and you max out the Acceleration. And finally we take Noxious Resonance. So, let's go through the Paragon points before I explain all the skill interactions. On the starting board you want the Fitness Glyph. Then again it's the same board as the Soar one. Then we go up and we take the Sapping board where we place the Kenny Glyph. Then we take the Viscous Shield where we place the Exploit. We go up and take the Convergence where we place the Spirit Glyph. And finally take the Revealing board where we place the Bane Glyph. Okay, so that's it for the Paragons. Now, why is this build broken? Why it's immortal? Why it needs to go away from the game? Okay, so I had to go out just to be able to demonstrate you. So now I have, oops, I'm on the horse. Okay, so I have 72.4% dodge chance. And I have, here I have 5 points in Mirage, which gives me 100% dodge chance while I'm evading, right? But the thing is that I can have 0 dodge chance. As long as I'm evading, I will have 100% dodge chance, because this is additive. Although they said that there's no additive dodge chance anymore, right? That 100% dodge chance won't be possible anymore. Well, let's see if it's not possible anymore. I can even stay at one place, and I can show you this. Okay, here I am at one place, and you see, my dodge chance is permanently 172%. It's not going down. Like as long as I'm pressing evade fast enough, you have to be pressing the evade as fast as you can, like this, okay? And the thing is that what it says is that during evade, it doesn't matter if it's at the end of the animation, right? Because you can see, like this is the evade. Okay, let's just recharge this. Okay, this is the evade, and the next evade starts after the first evade finishes, right? There is no delay between the animation. If you cast it fast enough, there is no delay between the animations, and evade is counted during the whole animation. It doesn't matter if it's the end of the animation, if it's the beginning of animation. During the whole animation, you have this 100% dodge chance, because the whole animation consists evade, like evade the skill or the mechanic itself, evade, right, consists of this entire animation. But you can cast the next animation right after the first animation. There's no delay. You can have permanent 100% dodge chance, which means that nothing can hit you as long as you fucking evade fast enough, right? If you just press it fast enough. Mind you, if you use macros, I've never used macros, but if you mess it, right, and you don't like press it fast enough, there will be a window of less than 1 second, and if you get hit in that window, you can die. So you have to really press it like a robot, like all the time. But if you can do this, you can be completely immortal. Or if you place it on the wheel, right, on the mouse wheel, then you just use scroll and that's it. Just that's it, you know. Now, the best way is to use macro, but if you use macro, you'll get banned. So don't use macro. That's dumb shit. Again, we are using Toxic Skin here. And the primary hull that we are playing is Gorilla and Centipede, and that's the reason why you want primary Gorilla hull potency, because it will give you more barrier. Like this is almost 50% barrier for 3 seconds and you have permanent barrier because you're permanently evading, right? So there we go, permanently barrier. So you don't want to play the ego holes, the ego hole, because if you play the ego hole, what will happen is this. Let me show you. Okay, you see these feather storms that you're shooting? This will get you wrecked. Okay, if you're playing this, you're crying to wreck yourself. You're just asking, please wreck me. So why don't you want to play the storm feathers? So we are not playing storm feathers here because this is what will happen if you play storm feather. See, this guy was playing the storm feather. Now let's examine this again and see what happens here. Okay, so see, he's shooting these storm feathers and I just activate toxic skin and counter attack. Okay, now what I do, I don't want to go in him and hit him. I'm just chilling, you know, and trying to get attacked. I try to go through these storm feathers intentionally, okay? Because the more I do it, look at his HP pool, okay? His HP pool, like 40% of it is already gone, and 50% of the remaining HP pool is already affected by the damage over time. And as long as he keeps doing this, see, now his entire HP pool remaining is affected by the damage over time, and the part that was already affected is gone. And just, you know, this is the result. Then maybe here again. Yeah. Okay, so you can see him on the minimap because I'm using Subu. By the way, you should you can use Subu as a mercenary. You will lose the 45 from the Rahir, but this guy carries a map hack. So, you know, it's called Subu the map hacker because it shows you the enemy players on the map. So there's nothing that can escape the eye of this map hacker. You know, he just he knows the map of the entire sanctuary, knows exactly where all the elites players are, all the bosses or the mobs, everything. He just mapped out the entire sanctuary and is there for you to provide you this hack. So let's see what happens here. Okay, he's attacking me now. See, he's trying to just evade outside of my range and hit me with the storm feathers because he thinks that I'm killing him with something that if he's close to me, but he's killing himself just by attacking me. I can stay here, you know, and there he goes. He just attacks me, keeps attacking me. I just, you know, try to go through the storm feathers. That's all you have to do, really. You just have to go through the storm feathers, and you know, he's dead. You can see on the minimap, he just died, and I didn't even see him. Right? That's the reason why you don't want to play the classical evade build. If you play the classical evade build, you're just asking to wreck yourself. Like, just, hey guys, wait me, I'm coming to wreck myself. That's not what you want to do, really. Now, do you need to actually evade? No, and I think I can even show you this. Okay, so watch this situation now. I killed him here last time, like he killed himself basically, just because I was doing evading through the storm feathers. Now he's coming to try it again, right? And I'm just doing basically again the same. And he again kills himself, you can see on the minimap. Then I decided to try not to evade, because you know I can just activate counter attack, and why even bother evading? So here he comes again, and I'm not gonna use evade here. I'll just activate counter attack. Now here I activate counter attack, and you can see I'm just evading, and he's still taking damage. So here I try to walk, as you can see I try to walk through the storm feathers, and there he kills himself. So that's why I'm telling you, you can just use counter attackers if you're not sure that you will evade with the, if you screw up with the evade, right? Just use counter attack, and that's it. The classical evade build is dog shit compared to this evade build, because if you attack, you just wrecked yourself. If you attack enemy that has toxic skin, even if they haven't activated toxic skin, you just demolish yourself. I'm intentionally going into their storm feathers so that I can get attacked. I won't be hit because I have 100% dodge chance as long as I'm evading all the time. And just to be on the same side, I'm activating counter attack, right? And you have so many charges that you will kill them before your charges expires. I mean, the maximum that I had to use was 2 charges before I killed anyone. And the thing is that as long as you do this, like as long as you're evading through the storm feathers, and with, let's say, with counter attack active, or with 100% dodge, you're not gonna get hit, and they're not hitting you. But again, what toxic skin says, enemies that attack you are poisoned for 5 seconds, right? They're automatically poisoned, and the more they attack you, the more they get poisoned and wreck themselves, okay? Because this thing stacks. I mean, yes, they have permanent barrier, these Spiritborns that play the evade, but you can have only so much barrier before you fill out your entire HP pool and barrier pool with poison, right? No barrier will help you after that, right? It's just not gonna work like that. So you just, they keep attacking you, and no matter how much barrier they stack, they will just get poison and poison and poison. This poison will just stack through the moon until they die. This is the reason why you don't want to play this, because then you will do exactly the same as them and you wreck yourself. You don't want to shoot these storm feathers. Ideally, you don't want to attack enemies at all. Again, this is Tauros on steroids. You just activate it, because while it's active, they attack you, but while it's active, they take way more poison damage. Okay, they take 3 times more poison damage, or even more than 3 times. As you can see, it's like 46k, but when it's active, it's like almost 160k. Right? This is more than 3 times more poison. So you just do this, and you just walk through the storm feathers. Okay, it's here. So if you get you can get crowd controlled if you're not evading. So for example, let's see here, right there I become crowd controlled. Now when you become feared or crowd control, you know, especially feared, what you can do is your soar is still active. You can use soar, because soar makes you unstoppable, but you have to take the node that makes you unstoppable. You can use it when they fear you, and you break the fear. See? Then I get feared again though. Now, if you don't want to get feared like again, you should use the armored height that makes you unstoppable, so you cannot get feared. But when it expires, you can get feared again. So also, can this build kill the soar build? Yes. But you should keep in mind one thing. So here I asked the same guy, that was playing the Evade Spiritborn that I just showed you, if we can test some things. And I told him to take the soar and the toxic skin with the turbulence aspect, just to see if he can make me vulnerable while I am using counterattack. Okay, I think it was here. Yes, so as you can see, he's using the vortex and I'm already vulnerable. Okay, so even if you use counterattack, you can still get vulnerable. But you can actually escape before they land. See, you have enough time to escape before they land. So as long as you, in that case, first of all, it's extremely difficult for the soar builds to actually hit you because you are constantly moving very fast, way faster than them, and you are evading all the time. It's very difficult to hit you with the soar. And even if they do, you actually have enough time to just get out of the landing site. And when you do this, like when you get out of the landing site, you should just keep running. Okay, if you see that you're vulnerable, just keep running. Don't go to them, because what the toxic skin says is that if you are close to them while you are vulnerable, they will do this poison damage as crit on you every second, right? And if it crits, you will die because they will activate the noxious resonance then. So if you see that they manage to somehow make you vulnerable, just keep evading and get away as far as possible from them, and you won't die. How you kill them is that you just you just keep going, like I showed you here. For example, where was it? Yeah, okay, so here, like, you can make just this trail, right? And this is how you should be trying to kill most of the players. If you see other Spiritborns that are not playing classical evade build or soar builds, you should never engage them directly. That's why it's better not to use basic attacks, but with the evade you have to use Thunder Spike, because it reduces your evade, right? Otherwise you won't be able to evade all the time. And when you evade, you will be using just one Thunder Spike attack, but that still counts as attack. Now it significantly reduces, because you see there are storm feathers everywhere. If you use the Eagle primary hole, you'll be shooting storm feathers everywhere, and it's guaranteed to wreck yourself. With just using the Thunder Spikes, you have to directly walk through them to actually count as an attack, right? And then you will be poisoned. This significantly reduces the possibility that you will wreck yourself. That's one thing. The other is that this is how you should play it when you're playing against other Spiritborns with toxic skin. Never attack them. Avoid attacking them at all costs. You should just make this trail and let them walk on the trail. Okay? Just let them walk on the trail, on the poison, and they'll wreck themselves. Why? Because as long as they keep chasing you, they will be relatively close to you, and then the poison will just crit on them. And this is exactly the reason why you want to take this. This is the reason why you want the accursed touch on the weapon, because see, the toxic skin has 20% lucky hit chance, right? And this has, when you proc lucky hit chance, ideally this will have 80 or 90%. I'm not sure if this is the ancestral version, but let's say that it is. It has 80% chance to make enemy vulnerable. But let's take a look, right? If I just, for example, go out here, activate the toxic skin. I'm gonna try not to, you know, hit the enemies, and you will see that they become like, even I just walk and they become vulnerable all the time, you know, because it's over time. And as long as it's over time, it's guaranteed to make them vulnerable at some point. See? And you can even just walk like that. You don't have to use any other skills. Just toxic skin, walk, and you're acting everything. See? As long as they're vulnerable, and they'll be vulnerable if they are constantly sitting on the poison. So this is the reason why you want a curse touch on the weapon. And if you have it anywhere else, and not on the weapon, you significantly lower the chance of killing the enemies. So that's that. This build is absolutely fucking busted. It's completely immortal, and again, only people that play exactly this build, you know, or maybe some version, you know, maybe some other version, but not the classical evade. If you play the Eagle Hoe, you just demolish yourself because of the toxic skin passive, right? This skill just has to be reworked completely. Okay, one last thing that I want to show you here is here again. Some parts from this video. So you see, I'm just activating I haven't even, I just gave up activating toxic skin at some point. I'm just activating counter attack here. I don't even activate the toxic skin for the additional toxin damage, and see what happens. Okay, that's it. That's it. You can literally just stay in one place, activate counter attack, and wait the people to just wreck themselves. Okay, so here you can see that this was the first time that he used the sword on me and managed to make me vulnerable even when I used counterattack. But then let's see what happens when he used this. Okay, so here comes, he used sword, then he managed to make me vulnerable, right? He lands, and then let's see what happens. He one-shots himself. So, and if you use the toxic skin, this is what will happen. And by the way, when the sword uses this on you, it still counts as an attack. Okay, so they are using the vortex and the sword. The sword itself, like the landing site, as soon as they do it on you, it counts as an attack. So they are making you, like they are casting the sword, and the toxic skin will be applied to you as well, right? Their toxic skin. But they are both counting as an attack. And if you have your toxic skin active at that time, while you're evading, right? They will be affected by your toxic skin as well. And you can, again, I'm telling you, you can just keep running away, evading, and they'll just wreck themselves. And especially if they decide to chase. If they survive this, and decide to keep chasing you on the poison, right? They'll just wreck themselves. And you have permanent barrier as well, because you're evading all the time. So, that's for the build. That's for the skill interactions, right? And basically how to play it, you just evade. And use counter attack if you're not sure. Again, you can use armored hide to become unstoppable, just in order to make sure that you're not gonna get crowd controlled. And if you don't have armored active up, then you can just withdraw from the fight, right? And wait until the cooldown is reset and get in fight again. Or just, try to stay away as possible and just keep activating toxic skin, and just, you just activate toxic skin when armored hide is not active, and you just keep doing this, right? You just keep moving away from the enemy, creating this toxin, and they'll just keep chasing you. You just keep activating, they'll chase you, and this is how you kill them, you know. Just try to get away from them until your armored height is up, and then when it's up, you just you know, let's say that you are running with toxic skin active, and you just activate it and you go back in the fight, right? And then when it expires, you just run away again. That's if you have suspects that there's someone OP with the same build, let's say, might kill you. You don't want to hit them directly, that's for sure. You don't want to do this because you see, you're using Thunder Spike when you evade. This counts as an attack, then you wrecked yourself. You don't want to hit enemies, you just want to use Toxic Skin, let them hit you. And basically, that's it. That's the whole philosophy. Permanent 100% dodge chance with the permanent evade, because as long as you are evading, you'll be dead. If you have any suspicions that you might screw it up, just use counter attack, no problems, you're covered forever. And you just, that's it. The enemies have to attack you. And as long as you have Toxic Skin, you don't even have to activate it. You just walk, evade through the land, and wreck everything, right? That's the, as you can see, it's a very demanding build, extremely difficult to play, but I believe that people will be able to do it somehow. It's very high demanding skill, I understand that, but I believe in people, and I think that they'll manage somehow, right? So here comes my suggestions of what to do if Blizzard is watching this video. This is the section for them, okay? This is the section that they should watch. The evade build has to go away from the game. This build is just stupid, and I really mean that it has to go away completely from the game. Not only because it's completely immortal, because of this. Even if you make this like non-additive, it's still a lot of dodge chance. And if you lower it to be like insignificant dodge chance, or rework it, right? It might be fine. But again, it makes it difficult to play against such build because it's still evading, right? It can evade all the time, like this, even if it's not 100% dodge, right? It makes it very difficult to hit with other builds, like rogues, especially ranged rogues, or sorks, and things like that. This build is just stupid. And I don't think it should exist in the game at all. That's one thing. And just to prove my point about this, if you are worried that people won't be able to play the Eagle Hole with the Thunder Spike, I'll demonstrate you that that's not a problem at all. You can still play this build and still be fun. Just let me find where the training grounds were. Okay, just to prove my point that you can still play the Eagle Holes, the Eagle Hole, right? If you're concerned that, yeah, but it's, you know, fan favorite, people enjoy it, playing the Storm Feather, you can still play the Storm Feather and be very fun and enjoyable with the Soar. Now, I here in this section, I'm proposing changes to the Soar, and the evade build, in my opinion, should just completely go away from the game. But you can still play with the Soar, with a reasonable Soar, not Immortal Soar. You can still play the Storm Feather and be very fun. And I'll show you this. Okay, let's say that we just put these boots, the unique boots that give you this, and let me find the gear that I used here. Okay, this one, then what else? Okay, and this one. I think that was it. Yeah. Okay. So, what you can do is still play this just like that, you know. You're casting, and you still you still have the storm feathers, okay? And you can just permanently do this. It's almost really identical to the evade build, but it's not unreasonable. Okay, if this is just the build, that's completely fine, and I have no issues with such build. This build is not immortal. This build is 100% killable, and it's not that OP. Okay, it's fine playing against this build, so people can still play the Storm Feather if they want to. But the evade build should just go away from the game. They're just plain stupid. Then the toxic skin should be reworked. This thing here, the passive. Enemies that attack you are poisoned. This should go away. This shouldn't even be a question or a debate. This completely has to go away. The passive has to be reworked to something completely else, completely different. This thing just has to go away. It's just super broken. This alone is super broken. Like poison damage is so strong. Like damage over time in general is so strong in PvP that saying that enemies are afflicted by dot in PvP zones just by attacking you is plain stupid. This is plain stupid. This absolutely has to go away as well. Like completely remove it. Then the other thing, while toxic skin is active, you deal an additional poison damage as critical strike to nearby vulnerable enemies. And the noxious resonance, right? This is what makes this thing so crazy and so OP. You can see I have 822% multiplicative. Okay? Multiplicative damage. Show me one class, any class in this game, that has a passive or skill or anything, or even legendary glyph or legendary node that can reach even 300% multiplicative damage. Just show me such thing in the game. And I'm not even with min-max gear. I'm not even with perfect gear. You can see. I haven't even masterworked this. No, I can still take a crit affix here. None of my crit affixes are greater affix. I don't even have crit here because I changed it. Okay. I don't have crit on the gloves. I can take even more crit damage here if I want to, right? And this thing, the noxious resonance, can easily go above 1000. Easily, just easily can go above 1000 multiplicative damage. If you min-max your crit damage, like if you use Nasekim, let's say, that gives you a shit ton of crit damage and 400% damage to elites and guarantees you to overpower every 10 seconds. Can you imagine what madness is this? Like, you can see I'm running here on like 2700 crit damage. Can you imagine if Spiritborn could hold Grandfather? I mean, wouldn't that be a sight to behold, really? This thing, my proposal, how to fix this is, before I say this, I want to say also something else. I don't think and I don't feel that I'm in a position to say how exactly should be fixed this. What I'm saying here is that what I will do theoretically, I don't pretend, and I'm not saying that this will work, that this will fix it. I don't know if this will fix it. This is not in my expertise. I shouldn't be the one telling you how to fix this. And I legit don't know if this will fix it, right? I have no idea at all. but I think that this might fix it. Okay, that's the best I can say, is that I think that it might fix it. What you should do is that it has to be tested. Okay, this has to be tested. Should I repeat it 50 more times? Test it. Actually fucking test it. If it will fix it or not. Even if I'm telling what can be done to hypothetically fix it, I don't know if it will fix it. It has to be tested. So, what I would do is either keep these modifiers, right? Although I would nerf them like significantly if I decide to keep them. Either keep them as they are and make all of this additive. Not like 30% of it will be multiplicative and the rest would be additive. Not a single percent of this should be multiplicative. Everything, like the bonus damage, all of it, every single percent of it. Not even a 0.0% of it should be additive. All of it should be additive. Okay? All of it. And make it 20% at most. Like damage increased by 20%. Additive of your crit strike damage. You know, if people have even 1,000 additive, that's fine. That shouldn't be that much of a problem. Okay? That might be fine and reasonable. I'm not sure. Again, it has to be tested. Okay? Like make the Spiritborn so that it can hold the grandfather. Make this additive and test it. Okay, I cannot do this, but you can do it. If Blizzard is watching this video, you can do this. Just make so that the Spiritborn can hold grandfather just on a test server or something. Make this additive and test it. Like put all the GA crit damage affixes that you can get on the build and test it. Is it OP or not, right? If you don't change this, this has to be reworked heavily. Like eliminate the passive for sure. The passive should be eliminated in all cases, no matter what. No matter if you decide to change the Noxious Resonance to additive or rework anything else from the Toxic Skin, the Toxic Skin passive should be removed completely. This shouldn't be negotiable. This shouldn't be a question. If you don't make the Noxious Resonance additive, then the modifier should be removed. Like while Toxic Skin is active, you deal an additional poison damage as crit strike damage. This should be removed. Because then again, it will just crit and activate the Noxious Resonance, and it's again the same shit, right? Either the Toxic Skin has to be reworked in a reasonable way and nerfed quite heavily, the second modifier, like while Toxic Skin is active, poison damage is increased by 100%, right? Make it maybe by 50% or something, right? It's just too crazy the way it is now. Like you can see people attack me and they're just one-shotting themselves just by attacking me. I don't even activate it. This is way too OP the way it is. The first passive has to go away. Completely. Like they shouldn't be poisoned just by attacking me. So these are my proposals for the Toxic Skin. Then on the SOAR, I will have a link in the description for the SOAR build because I don't want to just change everything again for the SOAR build to make the proposal and why they're reasonable. I'll just make the proposal. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go and watch the SOAR video. I will have a link in the description. My proposals for the SOAR changes are, when I cast SOAR, okay, the landing site, when I use the turbulence aspect, if I cast the Toxic Skin is transferred before I land on them. This should be fixed. So what it says here, right? The vortex and the vulnerable is okay to be cast. When you cast it, you should be able to cast the vortex and to make enemy vulnerable before you land. That's fine. The poison from the Toxic Skin should not be cast on the enemy They shouldn't be poisoned before I land on them. And that shouldn't be negotiable as well. That shouldn't be a question. It's just too broken. Okay? If SOAR would be reasonable and not immortal and not broken, the enemies should not be poisoned. First of all, Toxic Skin should be reworked, and the Noxious Resonance should be reworked. Then, when I cast SOAR with the Turbulence aspect, when I activate Toxic Skin before I cast the SOAR, the enemy shouldn't be poisoned before I land on them. They should be poisoned only if I land on them and hit them directly, or if they walk through the toxin trail, right? That's obvious. But they shouldn't be poisoned the moment I cast Vortex and SOAR landing size on them before I land, right? These are my proposals. And, you know, this should be reworked in a reasonable way, right? Because it says on critical strike. Then make it additive and make it scale less. Because SOAR guarantees you critical. Every time you land on them, right, you can use one SOAR. The next time you use it is guaranteed critical. Right? Because you hit them once with SOAR, and it guarantees you that no matter what you use next, it will be critical. Well, you can use just again SOAR and be guaranteed critical. And then it will activate Noxious Resonance and one-shot anything. It doesn't make sense, right? So, if this is not reworked, like the enhanced SOAR, this should be reworked in a significant way, right? This should not be multiplicative in any case. It's just crazy. Like, again, show me a class that has such thing, that can easily reach 1000 multiplicative damage. This is insanity. This is not even a bug, this is not even a broken, this is not even using broken mechanics. It's 1000 multiplicative damage easily. So, that's it. That's my suggestions for Blizzard. I hope that they're watching this video. I hope that they're seeing this. I hope that they do something about it, because this makes the game not fun, not enjoyable, and it breaks everything. So, now, my final thoughts on the PvP season. I'll make a separate video, but just briefly. This is my last PvP video, like that I'm actually playing PvP, you know, and releasing the build. I by the way didn't enjoy this at all. I couldn't wait to finish with the PvP just to make this video, you know, because it's just so stupid. This is the most brain dead build that I have ever played, really. And in terms of immortality, only the Perma Flame Shield beats this, really. The Permanent Flame Shield was the pinnacle of immortality in Diablo 4. This is the second. This rates exactly after that, in terms of how bullshit it is. So, for me, the season is over. I don't plan on continuing playing Diablo 4 anymore this season, because there's nothing to do. You know, I can show you actually. So you can see I have Barb that is 60 with all the Paragons. I have maxed all the glyphs for the build on the Barb. Everything. Okay, 5 glyphs to level 100. I wanted to make, you know, because one of the first Ubers that dropped for me this season was the Shattered Vow, and I was so excited, man. I was like, damn, I have to make. I usually don't play Barb. I almost never play Barb. But when this dropped, and I was so excited, I was like, I have to make Blade Barb this season. There's no way I'm not making Blade Barb. And then I wanted to make Chain Lightning Sork as well, and Firewall Sork test in PvP. So you can see I made Sork. On the Barb, I have everything masterwork to max, all the gear, the perfect gear, like ancestral, everything, the mythics, all masterwork to full. Then I tested it, and it just doesn't it just doesn't hold to Spiritborns. Like it's one shot no matter what. I'm working on almost 30k life with 100% barrier, and it just one shot. It just there's nothing you can do. So that was unplayable. Then you know, before I tested this in PvP, right? I had all the glyphs leveled. I had everything master worked, and meanwhile I started Sork. The Sork is also with all glyphs leveled. Everything is leveled. Like she's also 60, of course, and all the glyphs are leveled to 100. And I reached half of my gear master work to like 4 or 8, and I just dropped it because then I switched to the barb. I saw that it's one shot, and I was like, okay, there's no point continuing playing the Sork as well because it's not gonna work. I mean, if the barb is getting one shot, there's no way that the Sork can do anything as well. So I just gave up continuing playing with her, and that's it. There's no way. If you're not playing Dodge Rock that has reasonable survivability, or another Spiritborn, you can't play anything else. So my point is that there's nothing for me to do anymore. I'm not playing the PvE content. Like the end game for me is the PvP, you know that, because you know I've been playing PvP since the game released. But in terms of PvE, I did everything that the game offers. I hate the pit, and I'm not going to push the pit. There's nothing in the game that I actually hate, that I actively hate, except the pit. The pit I actually actively hate. I hate it so much. And the reason is because in season 4, they made the master working so gated and so hard to do that I completely burned out. Completely wrecked myself. You know, because I made 4 classes with, I don't know, 8 or 9 different builds. Completely master work to level 12. Completely burnt myself out, and I hated the pit since then. It made me hate the pit, and I absolutely hate it. I have not a single second enjoying I'm not enjoying a single second when I'm playing the pit, any season. That's what they achieved by gating it and making it so hard to master work in season 4. I always hate it, right? So any second that I can spend outside of the pit is a second that I actually don't hate my life. I have no intention of playing the pit, and the only part of the game that I still haven't played even once is the Dark Citadel, but I have no plans of playing that because I don't feel forced to play it. They'll have to force it upon me to make me play it. Because at this point I don't see incentive for it. I mean the cosmetics are not bad, don't get me wrong. Like the cat mount is meh, the armor is also meh, but the character armors are very nice. But again, guys, I have the best cosmetics in the game from the shop. Like, and even this cosmetic from the battle pass. By the way, this cosmetic from the battle pass this season is one of the top cosmetics in the game, in my opinion. Really, just awesome. And there's just no point for me playing the game. I mean, the best cosmetics are in the shop. They're not gonna make cosmetics like free in the game that are as comparable as the ones from the shop, because they are not gonna sell them, obviously. But as free cosmetics, I know that it's subjective again, but as free cosmetics, these are the best ones in the game, in the entire game, and certainly they are as comparable as many in the shop, and even better than some skins in the shop. So certainly as free to play, completely free to play player, these are the best skins that you can get in the game. They are by no means bad, they are very good, but still I have better. So I don't have incentive to play the Dark Citadel, so I haven't played that. And unless they fix the Spiritborn, I mean, what I mean by fix, I mean fix all the bugs. Fix all the bugs with master working, with the resolves, fix the snapshot thing, and remove the evade, like fix the toxic skin, the noxious resonance, all these things. there's nothing to play anymore. Like there's nothing you can play anymore because I see more and more people coming in the PvP zones with the evade build, specifically with the evade build. They're becoming extremely more and more, and it's making the PvP impossible. So that there's no people just leave. I didn't show you, but you know there were like 4 people in the PvP zone, and more people started coming after that, and I was just killing everyone. You know, while I was testing it, I was just killing everyone, and they left. They just left, and this is what I would do as well. Why would you play PvP if you cannot win? You cannot win at all. It's not up to you. That's my point. It's not up to you to win. There's nothing you can do. It's meaningless to play it because you just leave, and I leave. I leave as well because when I'm playing against immortal builds, there's no reason to play. You just change the zones or leave. And that's it. That's what PvP will become. In the next few weeks, it will be completely unplayable, and there's no reason for me to continue logging in the game. I know that you wanted me to make Firewall Sword, but that's again irrelevant because you know the Sword Spiritborns, they remove your flame shield, and they just one-shot you, and there's no way you can kill them. You know, if you're not playing other Sword Immortal Sword builds or this evade build, you're just gonna get permanently one shot, and that's it. There's no content there. There's nothing to play the game for anymore unless they fix all of these things. I'm not coming back until season 7, and this is basically the last PvP, like PvP build and video that I'm making this season. So I plan on making 2 more videos, but they're not gonna be. One of them will be about PvP, but it's not gonna be build related, and the other one is not gonna be about PvP. So that's that. So I wish you enjoy the time in Diablo as much as you can. Get the drops that you want for whatever you want, and I'll probably see you in the next season if everything is fixed. Thanks for watching, and I'm out.